What do you want to talk about?
The basics, man. It's a lot.
Okay, let me get a sheet of paper so I can just write like notes.
Yeah, you can get a paper.
Okay, so
This is Eddie right here.
yeah, nice to meet you, man.
Me too, bro. Yeah.
Glad you guys are interested in this stuff.
Yeah, definitely, man.
So it sounds like you guys have just been like searching the internet and kind of just looking at some different stuff.
Mm-hmm.
California.
Yeah, I went on last night and today in the morning, and I was looking at some of the properties. I was actually surprised that it's like still fairly inexpensive.
Yeah, California is a pretty decent little, especially like some of the counties you were sending me. I think like Kern, San Bernardino, like some of those counties have a lot of rural land that attract a lot of land flippers and just cheap land that you can sell.
You there?
Yeah.
There you go.
So yeah, I mean that's what I love to do is just go online, Lands of America, Land Watch, just try and find deals. The one website you sent me, like LandSpot or whatever it was, like I would just save all websites like that. You might want to create just like a little Excel spreadsheet and just like create a little master list, because some of these people, when they go to buy and sell, and I mean, you'll be in the same situation as a beginner. Like you're not going to know what to price stuff. Maybe you just want to make a piece of land move really quickly or something like that. So they're going to offer really good deals and you can scoop up stuff really cheaply. That's what I just got done doing last week. Like I was on just surfing a website, pulled up this dude's website, and I was like, this is way too cheap. This is way too cheap. And I ended up buying 2 deals, and Michael, my friend, ended up buying that one and sold it in one day after listing it for quadruple what he bought it for over 5 years.
Why was it priced so low? Just because it was sitting for a long time?
I don't know, honestly. These people had it listed on their website, and they don't do any owner financing, so they only do cash deals. And you're going to run into people like that who only want to do cash deals. So they're not going to be able to get as much for it, obviously, than if you finance it out. And a lot of people, man, just are not good at marketing. I don't know how else to explain it. That's how I have built such a big business, is just marketing. And I mean, you should have a huge advantage because of your knowledge of social media and everything you do. I mean, just branding and marketing, these people don't know how to do it. So they just post like, I don't know if you've seen some of the listings are so bad, just like their photos, like they have 1 photo, 2 photos, and they're trying to charge like $50,000. It's just like, where their property is located, nothing.
Yeah. There was only one that I saw had an aerial shot, and that was it. And I did run into some of them that were just offering just cash. They just wanted cash. For those, so do you think that the ones that, I mean, this might be a stupid question or whatever, but so should I be looking out for more that, should I be looking more for ones that offer seller financing or cash? Because I think that if they're offering just cash, then you have more of a negotiating power to maybe even make less of an offer.
Yeah, for sure. So what I meant by that is there's no stupid question. Like you could just ask me anything. But on your question here, you're gonna, for your purpose, you're gonna have to own the property before you sell it.
Yeah. For
the most part. So you're not gonna be able to go and get an owner financing deal because you're gonna be paying people over time and you're never gonna be able to sell it until it's paid off.
Okay.
So you're gonna have to buy cash deals, and offering just cash is going to give you flexibility to offer lower and get better deals. Outside of that, you get into like really jujitsu ninja stuff. Like I did a live on it yesterday where I talk about wrapping notes, where I'm financing through someone and then I can finance to my customers too. So I don't know California's rules, but you wouldn't be able to get an owner financing deal and buy it and then sell it to another customer without doing some type of special note or paperwork. And on your average deal, especially these low priced ones, it's just not going to be worth it to do that. That's only going to be worth it if, in my opinion, if you're subdividing like a larger piece, or you're buying, maybe like $100,000 or $50,000 piece, and you get it on seller financing, and you're paying on it monthly, and then that you can sell it monthly to someone else and create a little bit of extra cash flow because you're selling it for more than you're paying on it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But for you, you're not, I wouldn't focus on that, especially in the beginning. I would focus, you got 10, 20,000, whatever you want to spend in land, find a $3,000 to $5,000 piece in case you make a mistake or just a bad deal. You're not blowing all your capital at once. So find a $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 deal that you think is like smoking hot, that you can finance out for, 15, 20, hopefully over time, or flip it for close to double.
Okay, perfect. That's really good insight right there. Yeah, so literally just last night is when I was searching up all these spots, and I think the one that catches my attention the most is San Bernardino, just because of how close it is to home. And like there's a lot of, my sister actually lives over there, and there's a lot of, I see a lot of potential within that town because it's kind of been left untouched for a while. But I can definitely see how that can be the next town, obviously being so close to LA, or at least within proximity to LA, of how that can be like a town that's going to boom, within the near future. Because it's literally like a super small town.
Well, Riverside County itself there's a lot of developing going on there now. A lot of development.
Yeah, and you do a lot of that stuff. Yeah. So yeah, that's a really good insight to as well.
I'm pulling it up on the map right now, and I'm on Land Watch, so let's see. I know that's a very popular spot for land sellers because it's Los Angeles right there. It's obviously a super crowded city. People are going to want to have land away from the city. So if you go, I guess probably east of San Bernardino is where a lot of this stuff is, Yucca Valley and out towards 29 Palms and like desert land.
Yeah. And it's like close to a bunch of like other like national forest stuff too as well.
Yeah, actually like a lot of little houses and different stuff going on out there.
Even I think the most recent one that I sent you, that one looked really interesting because there was already houses built next to it.
There you go.
Yeah, so keep in mind, it's gonna, I don't know, I feel like it's much harder to find a good deal just on like Land Watch or Lands of Texas or someone's website. You can definitely do it. I look like at least once a week. Like I just pull up all the sites, I scroll through, I look at everything, see if there's any new listings, check all these different websites. The easiest way to get some deals to start off is through direct mailing or just reaching out to the landowners directly. So the easiest way to do that is to pull a list, which there's services that offer this. It's pretty easy to do. And then you just set up a mass mailer and offer them X amount per acre, and hopefully get, you mail 500 people, hopefully you get 10, 20 calls back and you get 1 or 2 deals from that. And it more than pays for the mailer and is just, that's the quickest. And that's how I started, right? I sent out, like 200 pieces of direct mail right at the start that cost me probably $100, whatever. I get one deal and make, 4 or 5, 10,000 on it. And then you just go from there. That's the best way, I think, starting out.
So you said you can offer an amount per acre or square footage?
Per acre, unless for some reason California is different, but it should per acre. So like when you pull the data, it'll have how much acreage is on it and each lot is, and then you just populate it by your offer per acre. I would say probably 50-50 or maybe 75-25 in favor of direct mail, but you could definitely find good deals online if you look hard enough. But
what's the name of the service that would offer these lists?
So RealQuest is who I use, and I was going to ask you if you ever heard of Land Academy.
No.
That's the group who I came up with and learned from.
Academy?
Yeah. So they actually had a deal going on. I think right now it was like 50% off or something. Not anyone can join. They closed it off, and they just open it up. I think they limit it to 500 people or 300 people in the group. So they have a free ebook on their site, just landacademy.com. I mean, it's a decent little book and can give you some good ideas. Says it's $2,400 and $250 a month, so it's kind of pricey. You can get around it without it, I think, to start. Maybe you try and get a deal. They're saying get 50% off everything right now, so it'll cost you $1,200 to get their program. And they have DVDs, and it gives you access to RealQuest, their mailing service. But that's like, if you're really serious about it, I would probably look into investing in that. But in the meantime, I would say just keep looking for deals. It's gonna, it'll just, you just have to, I don't want to say you have to get lucky, but you just have to look at a lot of deals to find one that works. I mean, some of the stuff you were sending, keep in mind, these people are listing online for a reason. They want to get as close to full retail value as possible. But not to say that you're not going to find something. I mean, I do all the time.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna just have to like dig in a little bit deeper in that aspect just to be able to find better deals. How much do you think should be paying per square footage or something like that? Like, for example, San Bernardino, I was seeing anywhere from 1.5 acres to 2.5, even under 10K and all that stuff.
Yeah.
65, 29.
So this is going to be very area dependent, obviously, and even within a county, it can vary a lot. Like, does it have road access? Does it have power? Does it have water? That's why I have just, I think, risen to the next levels, because I've gotten so familiar with each county and each different area. Like, I don't know how to describe it. Like, I just know that something is either priced right or underpriced, and I just look at it right away. I'm like, okay, this is way too cheap. What's going on? So the more that you study one specific area, the more that you're going to become an expert on it, and you're just going to be able to scoop up deals left and right. Okay. In order to do that, you might just need to make the leap and purchase a piece or two that you think is a good deal and just learn from there. And that's where direct mail offering could be helpful, because you could also get feedback from that and maybe get a piece or two under your belt.
Because the one that I saw that I think was the one that I sent you, the last one, had a road, it had electricity, and it had water on it. Is that something that I should be looking for too as well, like in properties? Or does that really not matter?
It doesn't matter, because each property is going to have a different customer and buyer. So, I mean, a property might not have any utilities, but it's just going to be someone will buy it to go out there to go stargazing or camping or whatever. So it depends on the customer. Access, I would say, is most important out of all those. If it has good access, it's that's probably just the best attribute, because that's going to be the first question, or one of the first questions that someone asks is like, they always like to ask what the address is, and I'm just like, well, it's raw land. There's no address. Here's the GPS coordinates.
Yeah. One of the things that I was seeing in there is like some of the pieces of land were like in the middle of like a bigger portion of land. Is that an issue? Because I feel like that's like a subdivision within a bigger piece, right?
Yeah. I don't know about California laws, but in Texas it could be an issue, because you could run into not being able to get to your land. It could be landlocked, so to speak. So you have to be careful with, if it has public access on a public road, you're going to be good. But if it doesn't, then you're going to have to look for easements and right-of-ways, and you're going to have to figure that out by doing more digging. You have to look in the deeds, see if there's easements. You're going to have to look. I don't know if they have a GIS map, but GIS maps can help on their county website to give you access info, see if there's a platted road in there.
Okay.
What this is land. I'm on Landwatch right now. I don't think they have a mapping. Oh yeah, they do. Search by map. No. That's why I like Lands of America, because they have
The filters.
I'm trying to. Where was that one that you sent me, or what was that one? I don't have it pulled up.
Check.
It was. I know it was by the land spot. Oh, I think I found it. Yeah, I found it. Okay.
Yeah, the land spot.
0.35 acres for 10K.
I think the most recent one was 2.35 Yucca Valley.
Has access.
Yeah, it
Has
has
road.
main road access, and you see how there's like houses right next to it.
Yeah.
House here.
Yeah.
House here.
Dude,
Yeah.
And everything
Further.
has like
Has
direct
power,
access,
power
has
too.
power, water, direct access.
Well, yeah, there's housing there, so I'm assuming. I wonder if they're like on a.
Is that a Caliche road?
I mean, it looks like a gravel road of some kind. I don't know if they have caliche out there.
So when I was over there, he was explaining to me like all these terms, and I couldn't remember the name of the road. Now that I remember, I'm like, every road that I see is a Caliche road now.
Bro, that's actually.
That's funny.
We should keep going out.
Right. This is the one I like the best.
Yeah,
And it's pretty big.
dude, that could be our first deal.
Coordinates on here.
They are.
Yeah, right here. Oh no, that's a.
That's the APN.
That's the personal number.
Right here.
Cool.
They're right here.
So when you're looking at something like that,
Yeah.
my first thing, I would try and find like what you're gonna have to find comps to compare it to, right? So like what's for sale around it and what has sold around it. Fortunately, on Lands of America at least, oh, there's so many pages. Yeah, so I would just go and pull everything that's around it. Like I'm seeing a ton of stuff around it. Looks like anywhere from 3,000 to 6,000 per acre. So that one's listed at 4,500 per acre.
2 point. Yeah, around there.
Around there, yeah. Here, I can get it.
I think it's a little bit. Like 3,700, I believe.
Just looking at this from like I don't know anything about this area. I would say that that's too high because, I mean, everything is listed at, let's call it 3,000 to 6,000 per acre, and they want 4,500. I mean, it just falls like right in the middle. That's a deal that you probably would have to scoop up for like 2,000 an acre, 3,000 to make it work, based on what I'm seeing, just like looking on the map right off the bat.
Yeah, and these guys aren't offering seller financing, so I'm assuming it's going to be already somebody that's already owner.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's a lot of the stuff looks highly subdivided. So they probably sent out a mailer and offered 2,000 an acre. So they probably paid $4,000 for it. Now they're trying to sell it at 9. If you really wanted it, you could probably go in there and offer 7. And based off everything I'm seeing on the map, without doing a lot of research right off the top, it looks like that would be a good area to mail because there's a lot of lots. And if you offered, 1,500 to 2,000 an acre, probably make 2,000 an acre all day long, because you sell it for, they're going to 6,000 an acre. You get in there and sell it for 4,000 an acre. You're kind of on the lower end.
Mm-hmm.
Offer someone financing for 300 a month for 42 months or something. But that looks highly subdivided. So if you're a real hustler, also what you could do, and what I've done before, is just like get a spreadsheet going.
Mm-hmm.
And I think from what I'm seeing on Lands of America, we can look at, it looks like San Bernardino, Happy System.
Yeah, go for it.
You can just hop into the GIS app, which, trying to find it, which just shows each. Have you ever looked at one of those?
Which one was it again?
It's called a GIS map.
GIS, no.
So that is going, what does GIS even stand for? I don't even know. I always just GIS map.
Information.
Yeah, Geographic Information System. So it's going to show you each lot. It's going to look like a checkerboard, on a map, and you can usually just click on the lot, and it pulls up the ownership info. So you can see who owns it, their address, their mailing address, because that's for tax purposes, right? So that's where their tax bill is going. And you can just, pull up Google Earth. Do you have Google Earth Pro?
No.
Okay, you're definitely going to need to download that.
Google Earth Pro?
Yeah, so that's what I used to do all my research. And you can do a bunch of different stuff on there. So, you don't even need to mail or buy a service. You can just go to the GIS map, find 100, 200 parcels that in a certain area that pique your interest, So let's say you're on Lands of America and you're seeing that it looks like stuff is going 3,000 to 6,000 an acre in this area. You like this area for whatever reason. It's close to you. There's roads cutting through. You think it's a cool little area. You go to the GIS map. You pull up Google Earth. You got them side by side, and you're kind of comparing, looking at what lot looked vacant. Go to the vacant lots and just pull all the ownership info for those vacant lots, and just print off paper. Like you do a 1-page offer letter or 2-page, direct mail them your offer. It would be maybe a half an hour to an hour of like writing on envelopes and licking stamps, but you just stuff the envelopes and drop them in the post office with your contact info on them. Be like, hey, I'll give you $5,000 for your 2.5 acres.
Perfect. So that'll be picking up for slightly under 2, right?
Yeah, that would be two grand an acre, but you can offer them whatever you want. I can send you my offer letter. There's some like ninja stuff I do in there.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. You can help us out with that.
So that's fine deals.
So I just got a question. I guess I'm fairly new. I'm actually really new to this whole thing. So obviously, so the only thing that pops up in my head is like because I know that area, Yucca Valley, and it's really like it's like a desert area, and obviously there's houses there, so some people want to live there. But like to me, it's like who buys this stuff? You know what I mean? Like who goes out and just buys pieces of land in the middle of nowhere?
Yep. I mean, I hear that's probably one of the main that someone asks right away, because they don't understand like what I'm doing or what's going on, and they're a little skeptical about it. But I don't think there's one answer to your question there, other than, there's multiple answers. First off, people like to own something that is theirs, land. They're not making any more of it. I can't tell you how many pieces of land I've sold, and the people are probably not ever going to go out there. They're not ever going to use it, but they just just like to know that they own something and it's there in case they want it in the future. So that's a big thing. It's very area dependent. So here there is a bunch of people for what I'm seeing out here in what looks like just little homes or shacks or whatever. So it's people who clearly don't want to be in the hustle and bustle of Los Angeles and the greater city area. They want to be out away from all of that and just have a little spread of their own. And it's cheap. It's very cheap and affordable. So it's obviously attractive to a lot of people. A lot of stuff I sell, people go out there, they hunt, they shoot. I was out there with my dad last summer, and he was asking me the same thing, like, who the hell buys this shit? Like, look at this. It's just flat. Like, there's nothing but just weeds and scrub. And I'm just like, people want to own it because they can say it's theirs. They can go out there. They can shoot. They can camp if they wanted to. They can build on it. I mean, there's not really one answer.
Yeah.
Why the hell do people want to buy a home? I don't like homes. I mean, you have to fix them up. You have to pay rent. Shit goes wrong. It's a lot of time and maintenance, but people just love it. I mean, it's just like the American dream of owning a home. It's somewhat tied into that as well. Just like the American dream of owning something that's yours, a piece of land.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
I guess
So
able to find the
people are selling it. I guarantee it. Like, there's a ton of it listed, and I guarantee it's selling.
Yeah. I think also too, like, one of the things that makes it completely different is the fact that we would be able to market it better.
yeah, that's what I'm
Because
saying.
like if I didn't know about these websites, like I would never go on there, you know?
Exactly. I mean, I can't tell you. I don't know if it's different in California. It might not be. I mean, I can't tell you how many times in Texas I have told people, like, they ask me, like, do you have land here, land there? I'm like, that's out of my area. Like, go to landsoftexas.com. And they're like, what's that? I've never heard of that. Or go to Landwatch. Like, what the hell is Landwatch? It's like, people don't know about these land selling websites, and they're not actively searching for land. But if you can hit them with land and go to them instead, you'd be surprised at how quickly it sells and how fast it flies off the shelf. But also, along those lines, you can see by these listings, a lot of them are just shit. And so, I mean, you can build a brand or, you know, drone photos or just some decent marketing. You could blow just about every single land person out of the water, and you're sure as hell going to destroy any realtor or broker, because those guys don't even have Facebook accounts.
It's true.
Let's see. Let's go to the land spot, these guys, and I'm going to critique their website.
It's pretty basic. It's like a 1980s website.
Damn.
It's just photos and
So, yeah, my first advice to you guys is just like right off the jump, get like your face and just yourselves out there so people can start to trust you. Like, I even clicked their about page, and it's just, we are dedicated customers with amazing deals, blah, blah, blah. I mean, there's not one picture of anyone who owns this company from what I can tell on their website. Their testimonials are just a bunch of garbage quotes from Adrian, Tom R., Alan P., like,
yeah. Stuff that,
you know,
outdated.
they should have videos or photos of their customers with their customers up there. I mean, that's how I try to construct my website.
Perfect.
So step one would be to kind of create
Like a brand. Easy.
Yeah, sure. I always like to try and figure out how I can base it around my name or around me. Like, first thing that comes to mind is maybe like Alvarado Assets or something like that. Like, that's a solid one. Like, I was lucky and kind of struck gold with Jazz Land. I mean, that's just like based off my last name and nickname. Like, people have really just can't tell you how many times they're like, that's such an amazing name.
It is pretty dope.
I always try to just recommend, like, base it off of your name or something about you that's very recognizable.
Yeah.
Like the land spot, that's a pretty good that's a good company name, but I don't know. I would just rather have it based off of.
Because you can't tell if it's for me, like obviously being new to it, if I go on these websites, I'm like, I can't tell who's a realtor, I can't tell who's a direct owner, I can't tell none of that stuff. And I think if you make it very clear, then people will know how to communicate with you.
Like if this dude's last name was Spot or Spotter or Spotan or something, like that would be badass. Like the land spot, like based off his last name, he has pictures of himself. But I mean, outside of that, it's just another generic company name to me.
Yeah. Yeah, and I agree. And I think we do have a lot of leverage, just understanding, branding and marketing and video production and all that stuff. Next level.
Let's see.
Even do marketplace to search on Facebook.
Yeah, that's another thing. You guys are scraping LandWatch and Lands of America, which is good, but I would also start just scoping out the marketplace and, just join Los Angeles, buy and sell groups, and you can just go into the marketplace or those groups and just search land.
I like that.
I've found multiple deals doing that. I just closed a deal. I found that way. Some guy had a piece listed on the marketplace, and I thought it was way underpriced. And then next thing you know, I ended up buying it.
Perfect.
Join different buying and selling groups. Okay, cool.
This is more of like the generic notes.
So, John, do you recommend for us to actually jump into Land Academy? Obviously you said if we were serious about it, and I think
I honestly don't know how to answer that because I'm a little jaded now because I've had success and I have money, so I'm just like, fuck it, I can spend $1,500 on a program and spend $250 a month. Like I'm still paying them $250 a month, and I hardly use their services. I use it maybe a couple times a year, but it's like I just know that they're useful, and it's like I think you guys obviously have a huge advantage because of me. Like I can just get on a call and tell you guys what to do or answer questions. So I'm not sure you need to right away. I mean, I would just, spend a week or two, look at deals, get familiar with different areas, and see if something really pops out and catches your attention. I think you could try a mailer first, just manual labor, hand pack 100 to 200 envelopes.
Yeah.
Now that'll take you just a few hours, and the GIS scraping, pulling the data will take a little longer. That'll probably take 4 or 5 hours of shitty manual work, but you can do that and see what happens before you decide to invest in that.
Yeah, especially because it's still so untapped. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and if you were just not concerned about the money at all and really wanted the education and were super serious about this and wanted to just dive head first, then I would probably recommend getting it. But if you wanted to just try it on your own and just pop me with some questions before doing that, I would say that would be a solid game plan as well.
Perfect. Yeah, I would honestly trust that even more just because you already have the experience,
Yeah.
And every situation is pretty much unique. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Thing with Land Academy, like you're going to get a lot of the basic info. You'll get all the basics down. You'll learn how to do a mailer, kind of how to find pricing and all this different stuff. But like the nitty gritty details of like what's a wraparound note and go to the GIS map and just click on the people's data and just scrub it. Like that stuff's not going to be in that program. Like it's just going to be very cookie cutter. Like, use our service, download the data. Here's how you create a mail merge. Here's our basic offer letter. Like my offer letter has a picture of myself in it. Like I just learned that from like my branding. Like, hey, I should be putting a picture of myself in offer letter. So like those little ninja details and unique things like you're not going to find in that program.
Yeah.
I like that. That was a really good nugget right there.
What else?
I think that's a good foundation. Right?
Yeah, it is definitely. So when are you sending in your next offer? Anytime soon, you think?
Maybe maybe in a week or two. So I'm working on closing a couple of larger cash deals, and once I get that capital, there is one deal on my radar that's about 50,000 that I'm potentially looking to buy. But I just closed 3 pretty decent ones in the last week. I closed a 500-acre deal, a $10,000 40-acre deal, and a $12,000 30-acre deal. So I'm actively buying a bunch of stuff and still selling even in this coronavirus craziness.
Coronavirus. No, I was.
Jose, I don't know if I told you, I did back out of that large deal though, that 160 acre. I don't know if you saw that. Yeah, just because it's very oil dependent area, as you saw, and oil price has been getting destroyed, and there's a lot of uncertainty with that right now. And the whole coronavirus thing, me and my business partner on that deal didn't feel comfortable shelling out $250K each right now.
Especially because of that.
Yeah, so
The only thing that I saw that you posted something around like I'm happy that I don't no longer work in the oil rigs or whatever.
dude, they've been getting crushed, man. A lot of those bigger companies have been really cutting their spending, obviously cutting their capital spending. $20 oil is not sustainable at all. So a lot of the manual service jobs a lot of those people have lost their jobs. So it's like getting hit hard for sure.
How's your boy doing?
Which one, Michael?
No, the one that we went to have lunch with. The one that we asked for that testimonial, remember?
Yeah, Michael. That's Michael.
I don't know why I was thinking about the older gentleman.
Yeah, both of those guys are doing good. They're both named Mike, actually. One goes by Mike and goes by that. Yeah. Michael, the guy we did the testimonial with, he's doing good. He's the one who bought a $6,000 piece. I had sent it to him because I saw it. I was looking through websites just like the land spot and saw this deal, and I was like, this looks like a really good deal. And I was like, hey, this is too small for me. Like, I'm just going to send it his way. So I sent it to him, and he actually went out and saw it, took some drone photos and stuff, and bought it, and then ended up selling it really quickly for a nice profit.
Nice.
So that was his first decent sized deal, and I know he was super pumped about it.
Yeah, that's super motivating.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I mean, he's shut down like his job, like they can't go into office or anything like that. So that's crazy.
Yeah, I'm right now.
Working remotely. Eddie, what do you do?
I actually I own a company where we provide access solutions for disabled veterans. Like, so we build ramps, lifts,
Okay.
lifts, all that good stuff. You know, all the access and mobility stuff for disabled veterans. Yeah.
Nice. Well, God bless you for doing that work and helping those people out, man. That's awesome.
Thank you. Thank you.
It was in the Marines.
That's also badass. One of my best friends from up north in Michigan was a Marine.
Yeah.
He's out now. He was in Afghanistan for quite some time, and
Yeah. Yeah.
Super.
One of my buddies from my unit, actually, you did you work in the plants? You worked at the oil plants? Or
I worked. I'm an engineer, so like I spent most of the time in the office, but I have spent some time like out on the rig site, like drilling rigs, like being like the head guy on site, like supervising everyone.
I was gonna say one of my buddies moved to Texas. He was working out there. I think he's still out there working.
Dude, those jobs, like the manual labor jobs, like the rig hands, those guys, man, especially when like it gets hot in the summer or like cold in the winter, those guys are I don't know how they do that. I mean,
Yeah.
crazy.
It's crazy, man.
And they will work until they die. Like they will not stop because it's like a pride thing. Like you have to tell them to go drink water and take breaks. They will not stop.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's really cool. Shit, well, I think the only thing I have left is I kind of would want to see, you said you could send us your offer letter that you send out, and then
Yeah.
well, the reason why I asked when you were going to be sending out offers for your next deal was because I was thinking maybe if you wouldn't mind kind of sending us like a duplicate of what you actually send out to these these sellers,
Yeah.
so we can kind of get an idea of what, or hands-on, I guess, of what they actually see and what when you send out your letter when they
Yeah. I can just send you the offer letter I send. I mean, it's just it populates based on like county and acreage and just some basic ownership info. But so it's almost like a template that I've messed with and made my own. I don't do a lot of direct mailing anymore nowadays, just because I've been finding a lot of deals elsewhere, and my brand has gotten to the point where it's just like people have come to me with deals, and just I don't know, I just don't have enough money to do it all.
Yeah,
That's what's up.
real, man.
You guys,
What was that?
I'll send it your way if you want to just give me your email. I don't think I have your email.
Yeah, I'll send it to you right now.
What else?
Pretty much it. I mean, that's where we can start. And
Yeah, we could start off there, and then so we have we have to start working on our branding, obviously, and then create some type of presence on social media.
Mhm.
What would you say the next, like, obviously scraping through these sites and trying to find, the best deals and then running some comps on them.
Yeah.
But other than that, I mean, that's a good starting point for us. And then if any questions we have, I guess we can, reach out to you and see what you think.
Yeah, continue to get familiar with an area. Facebook is going to be huge. That's where a lot of landmark marketing takes place. So probably create a Facebook page. You don't even really need a website, especially to start off. So create a Facebook page and just continue to look for deals and just be thinking how much stuff's worth. How can I sell this? How much would I sell this for? How much would I buy this for? And then next step, if you really wanted to do it, would be to just pull some ownership info, I think, off of a GIS map.
Have it right there. Okay, cool. Yeah, I think for me the biggest thing has been the GIS map, and even gauging, because for me the hardest thing was like gauging what would be a good deal. So the fact that you give us these numbers anywhere from 1,500 to $2,000 in that particular area, that would be a good baseline for us to still make a profit and be good. That to me is huge, because that gives me that confidence to be able to kind of pinpoint and see what are the ones that I should be like even focusing my attention on or investing time into.
Yeah, and I think the best tool for that is probably just your landsofamerica.com has a map. So if you go to there and you toggle to map instead of list, you can look at all the properties on the map and how much they're listed for, and then you can kind of just put there a reasonable analysis for a comp. And I don't know how public San Bernardino's data is. You might be able to find some public sales data on some stuff on some website. I don't know if they have it in the county or not. Usually they don't, but you never know.
Okay. We'll start looking into that too as well. But yeah, I mean, this is really good information. It really just laid out that whole foundation.
For sure.
We're started, baby. That's the base.
Let's get it.
Let's go.
Appreciate you, man. You already eat your tub?
Huh?
You already finish all your tub?
Oh my what?
Your coronavirus tub?
Oh, I didn't even crack into that yet. I was thinking about trying some like the mac and cheese in there. Food.
I think it's what, like 50 pounds?
Oh, I don't even know. It's supposed to have like 92 meals or something in it.
Oh.
Yeah.
So I'm still going through my frozen chicken and 10 boxes of pasta I bought.
Still pretty lean though, huh?
Yeah, I need to figure out how I'm gonna start lifting heavy weights again. I think I found a nice little outdoor gym area, so I'm probably gonna try and hit that up in the next few days.
Oh man, what's up? Cool, man. I think, yeah, I appreciate your time. Thank you so much for all this information. We're really gonna get started on this and take action on everything that you set for us to do and build. So
Sweet, man. Well, I definitely can tell you anything's possible. Michael is already up to $700 or $800 a month, I think, and he's been going 2 or 3 months now only.
that's
So you can definitely do it, guaranteed.
Actually, John, do you have a website by any chance for this business or?
Yeah, my website is jazzland, JAZLAND.com. Jazzland on Facebook. I actually need to get in and update my website. That's on my to-do list, and I keep putting it off. But I adjust a couple things in there. But you won't really see many of my listings on my website. That's more just for testimonials and show. All my listing and stuff takes place on Facebook or on my email list. And I mainly do that because I don't really like competitors, and a lot of land people try to rip you off or just super sketchy. So it's like I don't want them just constantly trolling my site and seeing what I'm selling. And
yeah, makes sense.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're good. I think we.
all right, guys. Well, sweet. Thanks for hopping on. Have a good rest of the day.
For your
Thank
help,
you,
man.
Appreciate
Yeah.
it.
Later.
Later.